turnout. Everything comes back to turnout. I do want to talk about issues and how that impacts turnout, how that impacts enthusiasm. Um, the latest Washington Post poll shows that 56% of registered voters surveyed trusted Republicans on the issue of crime, and that's the highest of all the issues listed. Meanwhile, there's a front page story in the Washington Post today, on how Republicans are increasingly centering their pitch to voters on crime, which has prompted accusations of racism from many Democrats in a fear that it might work. Is that fear justified?
No, because people continue to feel like that whatever issue you're putting forward is going to cause this very fluid electorate to shift its allegiances back and forth. And that's not what's happening. And that does get to the fundamental point it led me to write the second book, is that we are still engaged in a fundamental battle in this country over, is this going to be primarily a white country, or is it going to be a multiracial democracy? And that's largely how elections play themselves out. And so what the failure of Democrats and progressives is to define the race in those terms and to challenge and summon people to a higher level of standing unapologetically for the fact that this isn't a multiracial nation, or at least should be. And so Biden's Philadelphia speech was a good step in that direction. But that's the much more fundamental dynamic in elections, rather than an ad that's tweaking this particular issue. Because crime is just a code word for people of color and attempt to scare white people. And so the extent that we don't understand that that's the underlying reality of almost all of these elections, our analysis and our strategies are not as effective as they could be.